Recently, I had an argument with a friend about whether you should rent or buy. He did his best to convince me that renting is absolutely a waste of money. It's like burning money because why would you rent when you can take the mortgage? You might overpay a little bit, but you will end up owning the house at the end. First of all, I really don't understand why do people think that renting is the waste of the money. I mean, you are actually getting something in the return for your money, a place to live in. It's like a service. When you are getting a cab, for example, you don't think of it as a waste of the money because you are getting a ride. So renting a place to stay is a service as well. But the point that most people make is you have then options of the buying that house. So why on earth would rent? What I have realized is that most people do not consider all the factors when they are comparing renting to buying. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone because we all live in the different countries and cities. Uh, Interest rate and house price are different everywhere, and it's impossible to generalize. However, there are certain factors that would affect everyone regardless of where you are. There is an opportunity cost that most people simply ignore, although that it's one of the most important factors to consider when buying a house. And it's probably the reason why buying a house seems like a much better option. Let's say you are buying a house for the half of the $1 million that could rent for the $2,000. First of all, you will have to make a down payment of let's say 20%, which is going to be $100K in this case. Let's say it's going to be a 30 years mortgage with a monthly payment of the $2,500. At first look, it seems like there isn't much a difference between buying and renting. Buying obviously seems like a better deal, but when you consider other expenses such as taxes, insurance, maintenance, and so on, it will easily cross $3,000. And now let us take a look at the opportunity cost. First of all, 100K down payment that you made could be invested. To make matter simple, we will assume that you will invest in the index funds with average rate of 8%. On the top of that, since you will be paying only $1,000, if you are renting, you will invest the remaining $1,000. There is a little calculations that will help us to do the math. Let's enter the numbers and submit the results. With the help of the compounding, you will end up with almost $2.5 million and all the benefits that renting comes with, such as mobility. In my case, for example, I don't want to be tied to a certain place or even a city, at least for now, as long as I am linking it here. I am staying the movement. I realize that there is the better opportunity elsewhere. I am moving there, but there is the catch that will work out only if you invest every penny that would otherwise pay for your mortgage. But what usually happens is that when you decide to rent, you probably will skip your saving payment because every time you will have an emergency or the reason to spend that money elsewhere, let's be honest, it's much easier to skip your monthly contributions into your savings account that your mortgage payment. That's exactly why buying is much better than renting for the most people. Most people aren't much into the investing, so that happens at the end of the day is your friend who took a mortgage will end up with at least something, while you will have nothing at the end of the day. Of course, there's some aren't 100% accurate. Your rent, for example, isn't going to stay like that for 30 years. It will increase by at least 3%, so does your other expenses. There are a lot of the interesting video on this matter on YouTube where they show you the exact math, but to be honest, when it comes to your case, you should look at the numbers in your city and do the math. The most importantly, if you choose to rent, are you confident that you have the discipline to keep investing the remaining amount? Why don't you let me know in the comment below? Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.